And those that are supposed to vote for this bill, for the next year, you all are pleased and it's okay with that. What are they smoking? You cannot come and tell Saieed, well, hear this now. Saieed, mass mandatory, here we go. It come to an end. And then you come and tell me, here we go on Saieed. If you go to the supermarket, the grocery, or the malls, you have to wear your mask. Saieed, if you go to a pharmacy, you have to wear your mask. Saieed, if you're traveling, you have to wear your mask. If you're in the transportation hub, you have to wear your mask. If you're going to church side, you have to wear your mask. If you're in the school side, you're wearing your mask. If you go to a barber salon, you go to the theater, you're wearing your mask. Which dum-dum in Trinidad and Tobago will go in a theater and buy a popcorn and a juice and sit down and wear a mask? Thanks! If every councillor go through their constituency, do video clips like this and send it for us, I'm gonna be so happy just to play it on our program on a Wednesday night. You know why I would be happy? I will be filled with joy in my heart. You know why? Because the councillor is getting off their butts and they are actually going and doing some live video shoots. Real Talk took the initiative to find out suppliers of wheat in the world that National Flour Mill could go to. So now Romano is saying the company is not going to raise any price in the near future. Why? Why? Is it because the S-boss and they realize now that, hey, it is in the public domain that we could go right Mexico and buy flour and wheat? We could go right China and buy wheat? I am about change. And thus far, Real Talk is very effective in Trinidad and Tobago, coming towards making changes for the citizens. Public Utility Minister Marvin Gonzalez have urged the population to appreciate and be grateful for the availability of the utilities. This, as Gonzalez recalled, time in his life when he had to fetch water using a bucket from a nearby river. Gonzalez, I want you to understand something. I want you, Mr. Gonzalez, to understand something. You are being paid thousands of dollars by public utility, by the finance ministry, to govern WASA. Come on. To govern WASA, I want you to understand that you ain't going in no office for no free code. You are being paid. Do not tell me that I, Saieed, have to be grateful for the water I get it. Let me tell you something, Gonzalez. Every 4 months, I have to pay $400 and I get water once a bloody month. So don't come on a media briefing and say, Saieed, you have to be contented. You have to be happy. Marvin, the next best thing for you to do is to resign and get the hell out of here. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Real Talk with Saieed Ali. I am your host, Saeed. We do want to thank you for joining us tonight, Monday the 6th of March 2023. Remember, viewers, we are on social media platform. Like and share us on Facebook. Same thing on YouTube. It's Mashup Monday tonight, viewers. And tonight it's all about human trafficking. It's all about the evidence. It's about Devan Maharaj. It's a big thing in Trinidad and Tobago tonight, viewers. Human trafficking is in the forefront. What do you have to say as a citizen of Trinidad and Tobago concerning human trafficking? Now, keep in mind, viewers, human trafficking is where you just pick up somebody's daughter, carry them in the next country. Human trafficking is on the agenda in Trinidad and Tobago. So what are we going to do about it as a people? What is the government going to do about it? What is the special unit going to do about it? What is the counter-trafficking unit department going to do about human trafficking in Trinidad and Tobago? Now it is at the forefront. How are we going to deal with it? How are we as a citizen going to deal with it? We get up on a daily basis. We brush teeth, we shower, we cook, we send our kids to school, we go to work, we come back, and it's a routine. You shower, you cook dinner, you eat, you watch a little TV, you go in your bed. Next morning, it's the same routine again. But there's a lot of things that is taking place in our country that is not being highlighted. And it needs to come to the forefront. Yes, to the forefront. On the front burner, not the back burner. So what do you think about human trafficking now being exposed, and human trafficking ring being exposed, and those individuals in human trafficking being exposed in Trinidad and Tobago? Would we all like to see those individuals who are actually carrying it out? Put them up on a square and line up a firing squad. Yes. On the forefront and done with it. You see, we in Trinidad, we need to set examples, but we don't. Drug men is set examples. Gangs is set examples. Is the government setting an example? Ask yourself. Ask yourself, or are there people in the government in it also? But because you have the rank and the power as a PM, as a minister, nobody can interfere with you. But I will tell you something, in China, they will deal with you. They do business who you are. In Dubai, they will deal with you. They don't care who you are. There's something they call the police unit in every country. They don't business who you are. That unit is supposed to be an independent body that governs Trinidad and Tobago with the protection force. Do we have that protection force in Trinidad and Tobago that we could trust? In Dubai, they catch a thief and they chop out your hand. They chop it out one time, they set an example. Sometime last year, they executed ministers in China. Some were sent to jail for lifetime. In Trinidad, they become a minister and dies it. Everybody had to walk under them. Under them, they had to walk. So since human trafficking is being exposed in Trinidad now, we want to hear names. We want to hear names. Which big minister, which big contractor, which big police, which big human being is controlling this big ring in Trinidad and Tobago? Are they so untouchable that we can't do anything about it? Are they so untouchable that TTPS cannot do anything about it? Do you think about that? You as a citizen who locked on to Real Talk with Saieed Ali, you think about that. How would that affect you? Think about it. How does drugs in your community affect your children? Ask yourself that. If your son hooked on marijuana or cocaine or ecstasy or the blue pill or some kind of thing, they call it like that, how would you like to see they go down the drain? Well, think about human trafficking now, as your children go missing and you can't see them. Caller, good night.
Hi, good night.
You're live, go right ahead.
I live in Charlieville. You don't want to say Charlieville, Sister Bonus. And they cut my pension since January month.
Mm-hmm.
And the people in welfare, Ramdas, and they're very mean, and it have I 74 years. It have a woman has 68 years. She in Trinidad, live in Trinidad for 7 years, and they refuse giving her pension. They treat the government giving the old people money and them cutting me out clean.
So they just cut her pension just so?
Yes, they cut my pension. They say how I do receiving pension from Canada. But if you're receiving pension from a different country, you have to live there every 6 months, go and come. And my passport don't have nothing like that. I in Trinidad for the longest while. So
they refuse to give you a pension in Trinidad?
Yes, they cut. I was getting pension, and then Miss Ramdas, she cut my pension in January.
Now, do you collect pension or benefits from any other country?
No, because I don't go Norway. I in Trinidad. I don't go no 6 months Norway, and they see my passport. I don't go and pull out no income tax Norway.
So this person, this name that you are calling, that is the person that cut your pension, and they are accusing you of traveling.
Yeah, but they see my passport. I carry on my passport.
So did you carry your passport and all other documents to show them that you haven't left Trinidad?
Yes, I showed them. The last time I went Venezuela. Mrs. From England, all of we went Venezuela to visit my father's grave. That's the last time I traveled, 2013.
2013? 13?
Yeah.
So from 2013 to now, you haven't traveled?
No, I never traveled.
And they refuse to give you a pension?
And they refuse to give me my pension. You see, I just get seizure.
Okay, so what is it? Don't call the person's full name. Just call a name.
My name?
No, the person that said you traveling.
Ramdas and Hanuman.
So, okay, so this Ramdas individual, they saw all your documents?
Yes, they saw everything.
So I wonder if the pension coming out from their pocket?
Exactly, that's what I want to know, if the pension coming out of their pocket. And they mean to everybody inside it.
They have a stink attitude too?
Eh?
The attitude stinks?
No, them have attitude. They not ball up behind me and they want me to pull out a pop. You see, I have a daughter in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if she poured in my signature or not. She had leukemia. She will pass away anytime.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what's going on because I don't go Canada. My sister living in, she just go Canada. She come and she had to go back. She just had to live 6 months and go and come. You know, you have to do like that. You know, anywhere you live in. But she leave already. She going to Canada again. She come before Christmas.
But this is how long you collecting pension?
I collect my pension in December and I get January, February and March. And
Serious?
I have money, I have bill, I buy Epilem for my seizure, I have money to buy my tablet.
My dear, thank you so much for highlighting it.
Pardon me?
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So you see the kind of thing people is go through in Trinidad? Just to collect a little pension? If the money used to be coming out from those that work in the office, was something different, you know. Was something different. You see, I will tell you something. When they hear your plane stink and you feel is all this big thing, God just bring you down, you know. It have a God. I won't tell you to understand it have a God. I didn't reach where I am today. Just so you know. It have a God, you know. I tell you what, man, I see people who try to walk over me today, they can't walk, you know. Today they cannot walk. Because they try to walk over side. I see people fall on the roadside, try to harm me, you know. I see people get a foot decay. I see some of them going blind, trying to harm Saieed, you know. But I just want all you to understand, whether you go to mosque, whether you go to church, whether you go to a temple, whether you go to Baptist temple or church, it have a God. I want all you to understand that. And when you hear you going to church Sunday morning and you're preaching, oh Jesus and hallelujah, and then when you go home your heart stink like a latrine pit. There are people who go in mosque and all. You're going to mosque, you're praying, you're fasting, and your heart stink like a latrine pit, you know. I'm telling you, I know some of them in Marbella. I know people all over Trinidad. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Life have a way of throwing things back at you. Life have a way in throwing things back at you. And when it comes back to you and people realize the kind of person you is, sometimes your own neighbor don't want to talk to you, you know. Your own neighbor doesn't want to talk to you, you know. I will tell you something. People is always say, Saieed, how you looking so nice and you're looking so handsome and look at the glow of God in your face. It's because of the goodness I do. You think it easy. Let me tell you something trying to be. All you think it easy to be running a multi-million-dollar production and asking nobody for help? All you think that easy? It is the grace of God. I just always tell people that. That is why God have seen it fit to bless me with the gifts of the Spirit. That when you hear, tell yourself that you want to walk over Saieed, I will make sure you will walk. That is the authority he gave me. You see when I tried to kidnap my son? Saieed, I give you power and ability to execute it. What do you think I did? I executed it. I executed it. Yea, do I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. For thou art with me, thy rod and thy staff, thy comfort me. Well, let's talk now. Call a good night.
Yeah, good night.
Go right ahead.
Yeah, let me make it short and sweet.
Let me hear.
When the children's home had, they say, scandal and thing, human trafficking, they both do better. Right?
What that?
When the home had people reported, the Minister for Child Services said, tell them, instead of calling the police to lock up the people who were trafficking the children, she said, do better.
Yeah, that was she said, do better.
Right? Now, it have a certain individual, have a child, first child with a 17-year-old, them in this. They leave Sando to go and whine on a next 17-year-old, and all they expecting to see progress.
I understand.
Right? Where is the police in these things? In people's pocket. All police intend to do is give the poor man ticket for tire, for bad road.
Yeah, that is true,
and
that
raise
is true.
money. Right? That is what the police does do. A man come and say he commit treason by telling and giving directive to a certain individual, right, about a list. And I give...
He got away.
And all they expecting, man, get real. You have to do like Pakistan and them people.
Yeah.
Right?
Set an example.
2025. Burn it down.
Thank you, my friend. So opposition leader Kamala Prasad Bisasa is questioning why former minister or ministers in her 2010-2015 cabinet, Devan Maraj and Vasan Bharat, waited 11 years to speak out against human trafficking, saying they should have taken information to the police years ago. This is what Kamala is saying, Speaking to the media, following an International Women's Day celebration hosted by Penal Debe Regional Corporation, Prasad Bisasa denied knowledge that an international or an internal UNC probe has been commissioned while she was Prime Minister following human trafficking allegations. However, she questioned why Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley had not followed up on CARICOM or CARIFORM 2019 human trafficking report done by the lead researcher, Dr. Justin Pierre, which was funded by the European Union, which outlined 39 routes and 289 places where trafficking occurs in Trinidad and Tobago. Caller, good night.
Good night, Mr. Saeed.
Go right ahead.
Imitation vaccine vehicle. What you want me to talk about? Human trafficking, the police, ADC or DHA? Let me talk to trafficking first.
Make it short and sweet.
Right. You have to understand, this CARICOM research done by Dr. Pierre, that was highlighted in the newspaper since 2019, you know. So when Stuart Young said that he was not aware of it, he was sleeping on the job like so many other ministers. Because that was in the public domain, so he can't come and hide about it now. It is there. Understand the protocol for this research. They gave the women phones to go into all the locations. They have the name of the Tanti, the Mamu, everybody. I suspect the real vaccine brigade had sight of that report, and he had information on the people on that report, and those names are familiar to him because they're seen all on social media. He's gathering with people who own these houses. I mean, they say it is plain knowledge, and somebody asks why the newspaper hasn't taken a photo of that and put it on the front page. Don't only put Vassan's face and don't only put Devan's face, because they have disappeared from the political scene.
Thank you, my friend. Prasad Bisesa, listen to this. Prasad Bisesa also congratulated Police Commissioner Erla Haywood Christopher as becoming the TNT's first female commissioner for acting swiftly to investigate the allegations swirling in the public domain. She also called on government to proper resource of the DPP office and the police so they could properly investigate the allegations and bring their perpetrators to justice. That's the picture. So there is our Prime Minister on the International Women's Day. Hey, let me tell you something. We're in a serious time, you know. We are in a serious time. Human trafficking is being exposed in Trinidad and Tobago. So we are going for a short commercial break, viewers. But when we come back, we're going to talk about Devon, human trafficking, and open secret in UNC after this break.
Tired of wasting precious time at the bank applying for a loan, only to be denied? We understand your frustration. Here at Realtor Group of Companies, we take a different approach. Contact Saeed, Managing Director of Realtor Group of Companies and licensed moneylender at 238-6716, 242-7690 or 339-1670. Feel free to visit our office at number 14 Carney Savannah Road, Chaguanas, or number 132 Superior Road, Victoria Village, San Fernando.
Realtor Credit Union information stores are now open to members of the public. We are located at the Realtor Group of Companies building at number 14 Carney Savannah Main Road. Opening hours are from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Contact us via telephone at 238-6716 or 231-6219 to book your appointment. You can also stay connected with us via Facebook. Do you have a public concern you would like to highlight? You can email your pictures and videos to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com, and we will highlight your concerns on our show for Public Concerns Wednesday.
viewers, remember, I'm a licensed money lender. Those of you looking for cash, it's not a problem. You can contact me. Those of you looking for 4% on a fixed deposit, you're only getting it at Real Talk. Remember that. You're only getting it at Real Talk. Remember, we have our credit union, Real Talk Credit Union information. You can come open an account for you, for your kids. I mean, let me tell you something. The fixed deposit, the rate is overwhelming. It's overwhelming. So the numbers are on screen, viewers. Call them tonight. Call them tomorrow. I'm going to say tonight. Call them tomorrow between the hours of 8:30 to 4:30. Set up an appointment to open a fixed deposit. Hey, it's 4% you're getting. That's $4,000 per year. Where else in Trinidad and Tobago you getting that? Huh? Where else? Hey. Very soon, we're going to be doing business outside Trinidad. Eh? I tell you what, man, you cannot, for the love of God, put Saieed down, you know. Saieed is always get where you want. You know why? You know why? God have been good to me. And the people around me have seen the power of God manifest in growth, in business. So I just tell people, I say, here we're going to do all you want, all you can't interfere with me, you know. Bold and brave, 5 years on the network now, and this is me, you know. 5 years now, in other shows, people had to duck for cover, you know. Me duck way. Duck way. My business on 14 Carolina Savannah Road in Shoguners. You want to do something? Come and meet me there. But what I want to tell you, is before you go to do something, just know the individual you're interfering with. You see, I just always make a statement now, and people just take me for granted. When they come at my son, they didn't realize that man is do spirit work. They didn't realize, as a Muslim, they didn't realize I serve Allah. Now, I'm not condemning religion, and everybody had their thing in different ways, you know. Look, me and Navin is a Hindu, me and Navin is good on real good. You understand? Real good, me and Navin is good on. When he have prayers on my side, come now, boy. There's food. You think a man give me food and I go refuse? No. It's just starving. Let me ask you a question. If you're starving and somebody outside all our religion give all your food, what are you going to do? Let me see, I'm going to come and sense all that. What are you going to do? Are you going to remain starving and say, God, go feed me? Use your common sense. Lord, thank you for the food that this brother gives to me. Bless the food and eat it. Never. Out here we have foolish people. Stupid. So hear this. Former UNC Minister David Maraj have stated that it is not surprising to him that opposition leader Kamala Persad-Bissessar is claiming to have never seen a report he submitted to her about human trafficking and prostitution transactions within her party. He said these transactions were an open secret among members, and at that time, it was overlooked. Dr. Maraj has submitted evidence to the police probing human trafficking allegation by government officials. He confirmed this via WhatsApp. Now, Maraj, after he was contacted on Friday by Acting Sergeant Miles Walter, the investigating officer of the counter trafficking unit, who was assigned to look into the allegations, UNC MP Rodney Charles raised the matter during Parliament on Friday 24th and quoted the 2022 U.S. Trafficking in Person report, which stated that the PNM government did not take action against senior government officials engaged in human trafficking in 2020. Look, thing. So the U.S. is blaming the present government. The U.S. state is blaming the present government for not taking action in 2020 when this whole thing blew up. Now you want to blame TTPS? No, don't blame TTPS. The government is to blame. The U.S. State Department is clearly telling us that. All I want to blame Saeed for bringing the news. Kola, good night. Stick your guy click. Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowell claimed that reports and the allegations pertain to a current MP who was not on the government side. Listen to this.
Madam Speaker, we did hear that allegation, and when we investigated it, we discovered it was referring to current members of parliament, none of which is on the government side. So my colleague might be able to help me in finding out who they were talking about.
Prime Minister, we just lost the end of your response.
Yes, I was saying, Madam Speaker, that we did hear that statement and we investigated and discovered that they were not talking about people on the government side. And therefore, I was saying that maybe the member could help us to identify who exactly these assertions were aimed at.
So viewers, we are going for a short commercial break. But when we come back, I'm going to tell you about some hotspots in Trinidad and Tobago that the counter-trafficking unit, has identified in Trinidad and Tobago as human trafficking areas. After this break.
Tired of wasting precious time at the bank applying for a loan, only to be denied? We understand your frustration. Here at Realtalk Group of Companies, we take a different approach. Contact Saeed, Managing Director of Realtalk Group of Companies and licensed moneylender at 238-6716, 242-7690 or 339-1670. Feel free to visit our office at number 14 Carney Savannah Road, Chaguanas, or number 132 Superior Road, Victoria Village, San Fernando.
Realtalk Credit Union information stores are now open to members of the public. We are located at the Realtalk Group of Companies building at number 14 Grooney Savannah Main Road. Opening hours are from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Contact us via telephone at 238-6716 or 231-6219 to book your appointment. You can also stay connected with us via Facebook. Do you have a public concern you would like to highlight? You can email your pictures and videos to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com, and we will highlight your concerns on our show for Public Concerns Wednesday.
Welcome back to Real Talk, viewers. Remember, it's 4% on a fixed deposit you're getting it. That's $4,000 per year on $100,000. Spread the word. Spread the word. Only in Real Talk you're getting that. Only in Real Talk. They just call me Saeed, and I say, Saeed, use the Real Talk man, you know. You was the only man in Trinidad could push for legislation and get it passed like that, you know. The only man. Right now, I'm waiting for Paula Gopi Schoon. I want to know when they're issuing export permits for scrap iron dealers. I'm waiting. Just now my patient go run out. Today Tuesday, by Wednesday, Thursday, so my patient go run out and I'm going to start to sting them up in the air. I'm telling you, hey, hear this now. People is afraid side. People just feel side afraid something. People just feel side afraid something. Let me tell you something. I have a pillar that is lived by in Islam. It's charity. And that is give, and that is give, and that is give. But you see, when you hear you want to walk over me, that is the problem. That is the problem. And that is why I just tell people, when you decide to walk over me, and you feel something that slapped you in the midst of nowhere, don't ask where it come from, you know. All you have to say, Saieed, sorry. Say it out in the air, Saieed, sorry. Then God will hear you. It had two people. It had two people going and get something just now, eh? Me, I say not. Navin, your life ever failed you yet? No. Ask them pundits and then when they do a hawan, if it has failed them. People going to say, Saieed, what can I talk? I know what I talking. I know what I talking. But out there in this world, it has some stink, nasty, dirty, stinking tail people. And I'm afraid to say it. Muslim as myself. Muslim as myself. It are Christian people who's dirty people. It are Baptist people who's dirty Baptist. It are Hindu people who dirty. But if you stink, you stink. Tallman, director, you ducking? No duck. You know where I'm coming from. No duck, you know where I'm coming from. Trinidad and Tobago is always say, when your heart clean, you just stay away. And when your heart stink, you will catch your tail as long as you're living. I just always say that. Want your heart clean. Hey, hear this now. I started off in a grocery. After I finished my school and thing, up to 18, went on further accounts, chemistry. I wanted to become a chemical engineer. I'm 2 exams away from becoming a chemical engineer. But it's just that, you know what? I'm in business now, so I forget that feel of chemistry and chemical and mixing this and mixing that and blowing up 2-liter bottle and all these things. I leave all them things. Let me tell you something. When I started off in the world of business, I started off with slippers on my foot, you know. And if you come to my business place, my workers will tell you, if you come to Saieed business place, you see inside with that $20 slippers on your foot, you know. And I'm running $1 million production and I've on a $20 slippers on your foot. You know why? That is to remind me where I came from. We have some Muslim in Trinidad today that stink and they're dirty. We talk about no other religion, I talk about mine. It has some Muslims that stink and they're dirty. You think I'm afraid to say that? No, as a Muslim. And there's two things I just say. If you are part of the problem, you cannot be part of the solution. And that's for my Muslim brothers and sisters already. If you are part of the problem, you cannot be part of a fixing solution. Then you're going to be a snake. You're biting your own self. Tell? Hey, you know them dog and them when they watch and they see their tail. Them dog and them when they watch and they see a fluffy tail. Trying to bite their tail? How much you let us see that? How much you follow to see that? That is reality today with people. But say what? Let me stick to my script, yes? I tell you, there are some stink people, you know, and I just like to come across their path, you know, I just set an example. All I ever hear the song, row, row, row your boat gently down the stream, merrily, 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 like a what? A bird's dream. Something like that it is go. The ocean, just go like this. Sometimes you have big wave, and sometimes you have small, nice, calm waves. But you know what? The ocean is still the ocean. Always remember that. While most migrants in the illicit human trafficking trade enter TNT via plane through Piaco International Airport or through the Southwest Peninsula via boat from Venezuela, the majority of human trafficking activities in this country takes place in central Trinidad. This was revealed by the Counter Trafficking Unit, CTU, sources. But while central, Trinidad was identified as the #1 hotspot source. Said there were large numbers of reports of human trafficking in Port of Spain, Tobago, East Trinidad, namely Arima, as well as other areas in southeast and southwest Trinidad. According to the Counter Trafficking Unit sources, most human trafficking operation seems to have taken as bars, but were brothels, but now it is mostly perpetrated by persons who use malls, business as fronts. They stated that the information gathering suggested that those involved in illicit trade range from the highest to the lowest member of society, as TNT has an appetite for commercial sex. However, despite thriving illicit trade, not a single person has been convicted of human trafficking offense since the implementation of Trafficking in Person Act in 2011. According to CTU sources, the latest available data on the issue from the unit was made available in 2020 in the 18th report of the Joint Select Committee on Human Trafficking. So in 2011, the Act came into effect. And in 2020, in the 18th report of the Joint Select Committee, that is when it was revealed of human trafficking in Trinidad and Tobago. Look how long after. Look how long after. And what do we do? So I ask myself, who are those? Who are those sitting in high office that is responsible for human trafficking in Trinidad and Tobago? Who are those? So are we happy as a citizen in our country now? How proud are we to know that the U.S. State Department has labeled us as the #1 human trafficking country in the Caribbean now? How do we feel? How do we feel as a people? How do we feel as a police officer? How do we feel as a minister who sworn to serve our country? How do we feel about the U.S. State Department now saying that to us? And how do we feel now as a citizen? In the release of this 2020 report, that the U.S. State Department is labeling the present government for not taking action against human traffickers when we have an act in place since 2011. You ain't get this kind of talking no other show, you know. I open your eye. Alabandra kunalaja. I open your ears also. Tonight you're being educated. The act was created in 2011. When did we get to know about it? In 2020. When the U.S. State Department released a journal, released document. Now they say the present government is responsible for not taking action back in 2020. So where are we? Did we go forward? No, we went backward. And now, those on both parties now wants to talk. So when documents start floating, names start calling. Oh, they don't say nothing, you know. Don't say nothing. Oh, look at here the kind of names popping up. Oh, look at here the kind of names popping up. So before we go for another commercial break, viewers, Minister of Foreign and CARICOM Affairs, Dr. Amy Brown, has confirmed that TNT will host a regional symposium on crime as a public health concern in April 2023. Listen to this.
Trinidad and Tobago will host a special symposium on crime as a public health concern in April 2023. The supporting entities for this symposium would be the Council for National Security and Law Enforcement, CONSLE, regional body, and another one, which is COSHOD, the Council for Human and Social Development. So these two regional entities will be meeting in preparation for our hosting of a special symposium in April on the consideration.
So now Trinidad and Tobago, why is it a public health concern? Is crime public health? Or is crime crime? Which one? They use the term public health. Why? Why use public health? What is the term for public health in crime? Crime has become a public health concern. Why? I mean, why? Somebody tell me. Kola, good night.
Very good evening to you, Mr. Saeed.
To you, my friend. Explain to me why they use the term crime has become a public health concern.
Saeed, I am a bit confused about health and crime, how they correlate. I'm really not sure. But one thing, please permit me to say this. When Stuart Young was the Minister of National Security and Faris was the AG, remember they both, you said it already, but remember they both had intel about the registration numbers of the boats, the taxis, where the people was held up for safekeeping, and they had all this intelligence. Both have left their offices and is replaced by two new people. I want to believe that the information or the intel would have passed on and they would have taken action. So here we have the key players telling us they have intelligence, and up to this day, nobody was convicted, nothing happened. So to me, I have lost faith and confidence, and it's a big joke. All the best.
Thank you, my friend. So viewers, we are going for a short commercial break. But before I go for this break, I want to ask you, what do you think about crime being a public health concern? The phone line will be open for the next 15 minutes after this break.
Tired of wasting precious time at the bank applying for a loan, only to be denied? We understand your frustration. Here at Realtor Group of Companies, we take a different approach. Contact Saeed, Managing Director of Realtor Group of Companies and licensed moneylender at 238-6716, 242-7690 or 339-1670. Feel free to visit our office at number 14 Carney Savannah Road, Chaguanas, or number 132 Superior Road, Victoria Village, San Fernando.
Realtor Credit Union information stores are now open to members of the public. We are located at the Realtor Group of Companies building at number 14 Grooney Savannah Main Road. Opening hours are from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Contact us via telephone at 238-6716 or 231-6219 to book your appointment. You can also stay connected with us via Facebook. Do you have a public concern you would like to highlight? You can email your pictures and videos to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com, and we will highlight your concerns on our show for Public Concerns Wednesday.
Now viewers, back to Real Talk. The opposition have stated that the government could have managed the COVID pandemic better during the recent concluded carnival celebration. The comments came from Caroni East, Dr. Sicharan, Richard Sicharan, as he spoke on a number of issues, including the pandemic and carnival. Citroen stated that Health Minister Terence Yalcin could have put measures in place for carnival. In its post-carnival COVID-19 update, the minister reported 559 new cases in the week from Carnival Tuesday to last week Tuesday. He added that during Carnival, COVID-19 kits should have been freely distributed to anyone requesting it, and free COVID-19 testing booths should have been set up at all Carnival hubs. Quite correct. Quite correct. In January, Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley held a press conference where he stated that Carnival would go on despite rising COVID-19 cases and call on persons to take personal responsibility during the festival. But did they set up anything? No, they didn't set up anything. They did not set up anything. So how are we now to take precautionary measures when there isn't a booth set up, when there isn't anything given out to help an individual with COVID-19? That's just us. We lackadaisical. We back in the day. We back in the day. You know, long ago, they used to say, this is the parents used to control their children, haven't? We still in that time. We still in that time where the parents controlling the children, who to marry, who not to marry, where to go, what to do. We still in that time. We are going nowhere. But we want to go into the 21st century with technology. We want to go into the 21st century with better highway. We want to go into the 21st century with electric cars. And we even have an electric station in Trinidad to charge car. Well, then we have one or two. But we still there. We ain't going nowhere far. And this is where we are. We would never go forward. When Saieed talks, Saieed bashing. Saieed this, Saieed that, Saieed the next. People, you don't walk over me. I just always tell people that. 5 years on the network, not one man has taken up the challenge to walk over me because they know what they're going to get. You might feel something hitting you, pow, shot behind your head. One man went on a media, I could never forget. One man went on a media briefing. Oh, you don't have to loud up your mouth and TV. Boom, you get in an accident. And I come right here and I tell him, I said, the next time you loud me up on TV, it might be a little more worse. Let me tell you something. As one man, one individual, do not take threat lightly. From the time you started talking about threatening me, I just started calling spirit one time to act. You see, people that say, oh, he's a voodoo man and he's a jinx man and he this and that. I practice what God gave me. The imam will go on the pulpit and practice what God gave him. God gave him a calling to be an imam. He practicing that. The pundit man will practice what? His pundit calling. The preacher man is practice what? His preaching. And it goes on to leaders. So if you tell yourself, I'm afraid to practice what I know, you lie. Navin grew up in music, but Navin practicing music. We want to practice working taxi when he's a musician. He practicing music. Let me tell you something. There's a class of people that lives in our country that is still under control. They feel because they were controlled, they have to control others. It don't work like that. Break out of the slavery days. Break out of the slavery day mentality and come out. Come out. Oh, my father is a fisherman, and you know, I want all my children to come out fisherman too. You might have one or two sons afraid to go out in the sea. You might have one or two sons afraid to catch fish. You might have one or two sons, you know what, that stinking me are going in that now. That's smelling too fresh for me. And they study something else. They study something else. My father was a fisherman. He used to go out in the sea, catch fish, come back, go to the market, you know. 42 years, I believe, he stayed in fish work. And he said, my children had to come out fishermen. Hey, look, I come out of drinks, man. Look, I come out of drinks, man. Look, I come out of money lender. Look, I come out of businessman. Look, Real Talk own credit union. Let's say something now. You know why I like that? Because I am not controlled. I decide, you know what? Dad, hear this now. You see, you and a fisherman talk. That is your talk. That is your calling. This is not my calling. No. You know what God said? He said, Saieed, I will make you a fisher of men. And you know what you do? Boom, shut to give my spiritual gift. Go out into the field. Go and label. Go and work. Go and spread your wings, Saieed. Nobody can control you. But today we have people who controlling still. Because they grew up in that timing, that method, they go control. Oh, my children can go with this one and that one and the next one. Shut your mouth. Long time was that. We're in the 21st century. Nothing. You grew up in the days where back in them days parents used to control their children and things. Good. Good thing you come out. No, but for real, it exists still, eh? It exists still. It exists still. My father used to always say, me say, I want my children to be happy. My father lived to see me make it. He lived to see Saieed have companies. He lived to see Saieed become a money lender. He lived to see Saieed as a traveling businessman. He lived to see Saieed grow. How many of you parents can say that? But you want to control. They can't move from here today. But I want to talk. Mind this, mind that, mind the next. Some of us should shut their damn mouth. Because I always some of them have a children like that. So here it is. Police officers have held a 42-year-old man in Rich Plain, Diego Martin on Friday night with a drum magazine and ammunition a short distance away from where a 20-year-old man was shot and killed. Police stated that the Western Division Task Force were responding to a report of armed men moving through the community. While officers were conducting search, they heard explosion a short distance away and responded. The lawmen alighted from a police vehicle and gave chase, subsequently detained a suspect and a short distance away. Police found one black-colored drum-shaped magazine containing 14 rounds of 9mm ammunition. Wow. Jeremiah Anton, 20, was shot and killed on Upper Unity Road on Friday night. Life not easy, you know. Where the magazine? Try the magazine. Let me see the magazine on TV. Move the CG. That is what you call a drum magazine, viewers. Look at it. You see that black round thing under the firearm? That is a drum magazine. In Trinidad, we have all type of thing, you know. All kind of thing we have in Trinidad, you know. Hence the reason why you have to be educated. We have to be educated in our society today, viewers. That is why I just tell my boys and them. I said, listen this. Listen to me carefully. I want both of you to go to school and learn your book. That is all Daddy wants you to do. Learn your book. That's all. Learn your book. I'm building something for you. Only thing making sacrifice of 17 hours a day is an easy thing. Only thing that easy, 17 hours a day. From 3, 4 in the morning until 11, 12 at night. That is sacrifice. That is why I am where I am today. And it is always said boldly and clearly on television. You'll jump my fence. That's the last fence you're jumping in your life. I always tell people that. That is why I just use the issue when they try to kidnap my son, you know. I set an example and I will do it again. I won't hesitate. I will do it again. Y'all are frightened, don't get frightened. You don't have to fear Saieed, you know. Just don't jump my fence. Just don't jump my fence and you have nothing to fear. Don't tell yourself you want to do me bad and play you as a king or a queen, you know. Yeah, I will expose you. Stink. Don't want to play you as a Muslim or as a Christian or as a Baptist. And you want to talk in my face, nice, and you backstab me, you know. Nah, I will let the public know who he is. That's just me. That's just me. I have nothing to hide, you know. People can say, oh, Saieed, you're a nasty man, and you're this and you're that. Really? When I giving charity, what are you giving? When I raising funds to feed mouths, what you doing? You want to say, oh, Saieed is this, and Saieed is that, and Saieed is the next. When I giving charity and helping people, what you doing? The only thing you could do is bad talk, Saieed. And Saieed self is help you when you want help. But you're bad talking, Saieed. So viewers, we are out of time for tonight, but nevertheless, you have been Real Talk with Saieed Ali. Today is the 6th of March, Monday the 6th of March. Tomorrow there's a rerun of this program from 11:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. And we'll be right back here on the 7th of March for another episode of Real Talk with Saieed Ali live on Synergy Network. Until we meet again, good night.